Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it was a real crying shame when Disney decided to put out their live-action Beauty and the Beast movie. All kinds of subtle references and innuendos and secular content, pushing that on our children. It was disgusting and terrible and awful. We were all offended by it. I mean, I did a whole video about how offended I was, and it was extremely serious and not sarcastic in any way.
It's progressive!
If social media wasn't censoring conservatives and Christians to the degree that they genuinely truly are, nobody would have even gone to see the Disney version of live-action Beauty and the Beast because they already made a live-action movie called Belle and the Beast, a Christian love story.
You don't know what you're talking about. I haven't cared what God thinks for years.
Now, I love a Christian love story, and what makes this movie even better, I found that this movie was originally called Beauty and the Beast, a Latter-day Tale. So, it was censored by the Christians, probably to get it to be able to air on TBN, taking out the Mormon references. They were able to cut it down by 1 minute and make the movie we're gonna watch tonight. Is this movie going to be the definitive a Christian love story? Is it gonna be the definitive Latter-day Saint tale? There's only one way to find out, and that's to watch Movie Night Kevin with Kevin. Say goodnight, Kevin, movie night. Grab your special underwear, throw it in the garbage because you're not gonna need it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
This is Belle and the Beast, a Christian love story. It's Christian! Is it though? We'll find out. The movie begins with voiceover.
Once upon a time.
Good. And a flyover shot, because why not? As we get not Mrs. Potts telling us an inferior version of Beauty and the Beast.
In a land not unlike your own.
Because that's way cheaper than having to build sets for mid-1700s France.
Above all, Belle loved God and her family.
Little town, it's a Salt Lake City. There goes the baker. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Belle spent her time pursuing her education.
I remember when she was in the library.
But in the same land lived someone concerned with no one but himself.
David A.R. White.
His name was Eric Landry. He was more commonly called the Beast.
Actual beast not pictured in this frame. Belle and the Beast. We all remember that time in Beauty and the Beast when a handsome prince was mean to some old lady, right?
What is this?
Breakfast.
No, it's not.
Typical vegetarian. We never learn who this is. I guess it's his maid or his housekeeper or his mom. Or maybe she used to be a tea kettle and is cursed to live as a human with this guy.
When you find anything for me to eat, I'll be in my office.
Well, as you can see, this movie's gonna take a slightly more on-the-nose approach to the whole mean guy thing.
The repairman's coming by today to fix the fireplace.
Do I care?
Or who knows, maybe he's just cranky because he didn't eat breakfast, and this whole thing is just one big Snickers commercial.
Better? Better.
All right, well, let's cut over to Belle, who we learn is an orthodontic assistant, I believe.
Ready? Almost. I just have to pull these files.
And like in so many of these movies, she's being set up with a guy by her female friend.
So are we still on for tomorrow? With your cousin. Yeah, he's not bad looking.
Sometimes movies feel so much like porn acting, it's scary. There's such a fine line with Christian movies sometimes.
He's not bad looking.
Like, calm down about your cousin, lady.
Well, you can get to know him tomorrow at the art exhibit. Okay, see you later. Okay, bye.
Okay, good. Glad we have that information. Let's cut over to Belle's father working for the Beast. Now listen closely and see if you can detect the subtle indications that the Beast is actually supposed to be a pretty mean guy.
You are the most incompetent assistant ever. I told you not to call until I approved.
Look, I told you to focus the camera, but you couldn't do it.
This is gonna ruin my relationship with them.
Like you have a relationship with anyone.
For who could ever learn to love a beast?
You're fired.
I've had my resignation typed up for weeks.
So judging by the date on this, then I don't have to pay you for the last few weeks, now do I?
I'm not paying you to carry your own resignation letter around. But that's when Belle's dad does something terrible. Oh no.
Idiot!
Crazy old Maurice.
Do you have any idea how much this is worth?
Probably not much, considering the fact that you couldn't even get a decent camera.
Yeah, this is worth the lives of 10 people. Okay, 20 if they're you.
I am terribly sorry, Mr. Landry. Oh,
Start looking for a new job.
children depend on me.
Get out!
Get out!
Now, before I call the police.
Aw, man. He's works for a repair company that happens to be at this guy's house, and now he's losing his entire job because of one client? That doesn't seem quite right. So at home, Belle's dad breaks the news to her and her family.
I need to start looking for a new job.
What happened?
What happened?
Somebody lost their job.
Did you try and talk him out of it?
I threatened to call the police.
It was an accident.
That doesn't change anything.
The police are ruthless. He's got them all under his thumb. His big, hairy, beastie thumb.
Let me see what I can do.
No.
You are not gonna go sleep with that monster.
There's something I can do. I'm doing it.
Great. I've seen this before. So Belle travels to the Beast's dilapidated Christmas castle so she can solve her father's problem. Somehow.
Your name?
Scarlett Johansson a little bit in this light.
What is this regarding?
My father from the repair company today.
Oh, the repair company today? Well, why didn't you say so?
That's a horse of a different color!
Stealing a joke from the Wizard of Oz? It's like a 100-year-old joke, you idiot.
Drive on in.
Okay, I'll walk.
What are you doing on my property?
You got to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off of my property.
I came to ask you not to call my dad's boss.
I can't call either of your two dads boss? There goes my weekend plans.
You're the repairman's daughter. Well, you must be an idiot too.
So, as you would expect, we continue to get the indication that this guy's script stage direction said, be mean guy. So we keep on getting this embarrassingly relentless scene-chewing mean guy performance as Belle attempts to convince him not to call her dad's boss to get him fired.
Have your mother start working then.
My mother died years ago.
We'll have one of your other mothers work then. What kind of latter-day tale is this?
Firing my father won't help.
It'll make me feel better.
Will it?
Well, now I'm not so sure.
It's gotta be something I can do. Some way we can make this right.
But then he thinks of a solution, seeing as how he just fired his assistant.
You're fired.
This movie is so tightly written.
You'll work for me until I feel the debt is paid off.
And you'll be naked.
You want me to call your dad's boss?
No, I literally just told you not to call my dad's that.
I'm a part-time assistant at an orthodontic office.
Okay, you work part-time, but you claim your family's desperate?
I work and I go to school part-time.
You work part-time and yet you can't afford to pay for all your family's expenses that I have no knowledge of? Ha!
Well, I guess you have your work cut out for you then, don't you?
Well, with everything going on, Belle seems to have forgotten the most important thing in life. She was supposed to go on a date with the boy, remember?
You remember the exhibit today?
My super hot cousin.
Promise I'm not trying to blow this off.
But that's when he shows up.
Hey!
Ah!
Hey!
Hey!
I gotta go.
She's gonna have to come with us another day.
Why?
I thought we were gonna go see The Dark Knight Rises. Keep this guy's bug-eyed face in the back of your mind, because he'll be important later. But right now, it's time for her first day of indentured servitude.
You must be the new assistant.
Be our guest.
He's right in there.
But where's the West Wing?
Oh, you're here. You have a name?
Belle.
Like the movie.
When I ring, you come.
No, it means beauty.
But we didn't have the rights to that.
You say so.
Look, I didn't make it up, okay? It's a tale as old as time. Well, she spends her day running errands, picking up dry cleaning, and doing menial tasks for the Beast. But that's when she starts wandering into an area of the house nobody ever told her she wasn't allowed to go. It's Christian?
What are you doing?
You were told not to read this book. It is forbidden.
Sorry, I was looking for the right room.
Does this look like a bedroom?
I mean, you have a lot of bedtime storybooks in here, so kinda, yeah.
Maybe show me which room's the right one?
When does he become a beast? Or did they not have the budget for that either? So she seductively licks envelopes in front of him. Ouch, my tongue! Hoping to get him not to call her father's boss. So she's not getting paid. She's like literally his slave?
When you're finished, I want you to alphabetize the books.
Yeah, that seems legal. Well, after doing a lot of maid-type work, Belle wants to make sure Eric knows she has other talents.
You know, I can do more than filing and alphabetizing.
I'm pretty good at organizing things according to size, shape, color.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Well, that's the end of day one, and Belle goes home to see her much younger brother and sister and father.
That's lame. That's lame.
This movie's lame. Ha!
So how was it?
Bearable.
Bearable?
More than I can bear.
More beer? Because he's a bear? Ha! Guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode of Say Movie Night Kevin so far. It was a blast to film, and there's a whole lot more to come. You might notice, actually, that I'm a little bit younger in this episode. Not as young as I look, I think mostly indicated by the fact that I'm wearing braces, and I got them off. That's because this was actually filmed probably about a year ago on SGK Plus in front of a live streamed audience, and that's my subscription service that you can go over to saygoodnightkevin.com. Even if you weren't there for the live stream, the actual time that I recorded this, you can go back into the archive and watch every single one that I've ever done, which is good for me because this movie I actually thought was just a fever dream that I had one night, and it turned out when I looked through the archive that it was real. So I was able to put it together and make it a movie night for you. So go check that out if you like. If not, be sure to hit like and subscribe, hit that bell button, all that stuff so you can keep enjoying my channel. I'm having a blast. You guys are great. After these messages, we will get right back to finding out what happens to Belle and the Beast, because this is very important for you to find out. Well, now it's time to find out if Belle can bear another day with this beast. Here's your screwdriver.
There's a phone number on my desk. I need it right away.
But when she grabs the Post-it note, she sees he's secretly a clown.
No, not this one.
How could you not fall for this guy? How? Well, later that night, Belle gets a little visit from a gentleman caller.
Who? Craig?
Craig?
Hey, Belle.
Hey, googly eyes. I mean, Craig.
Hey.
I know we didn't actually meet, but I did say hey the other day. So he invites her out to ice cream. She says yes. And then he creepily has the ice cream all ready for them on the front porch.
I saved us a trip.
Oh.
And if that wasn't enough for you, he kicks off the conversation by grilling her on why in the world she didn't come out on the date with him.
Why didn't you come with us?
'Cause you creep me out. Didn't you get the hint?
I had to work.
Come on, Belle.
How do you have time for church?
Maybe it's time you settle down, like a boyfriend. Or a husband.
You need to be my wife.
Just haven't found the right guy.
Maybe he's sitting right next to you.
We don't even know each other.
Sometimes you just have to trust your feelings.
Yeah, but my feelings are telling me you might be the murder among Mormons guy. No. What I mean by trust your feelings is trust my feelings.
Thanks for the ice cream.
Belle, where's your second job?
The Landry Mansion.
Meanwhile, at the Landry Mansion, Mrs. Potts is cooking more breakfast that nobody will eat.
Want some breakfast?
No, thank you. Is Mr. Landry here?
He's in the spa room.
Did you say the spare room?
Spare room.
Spa room.
The spa room?
Aw, man, another hot tub scene. What's the deal with hot tub scenes in Christian movies? So she goes to the spa room to have Mr. Landry bark more orders at her.
There's a book on my nightstand in my bedroom. Bring it. Get me my towel.
And also, could you turn the jets on? That's when she picks up this Bible and gets in big trouble. Beauty and the Bible. What a beast.
What are you doing with that?
It was on your shelf. I hope you don't mind.
Get rid of it.
But it's a nice copy.
Only the Book of Mormon in my house.
No, it's God's word.
She sounds like Ariel. A little bit. Maybe that's why they cast her.
Isn't that sacrilegious?
Do you think I care? I haven't cared what God thinks for years.
Maybe he was baptizing the Bible for one of his dead relatives.
It's my house.
What is he, a child?
If you don't like it, you're welcome to leave.
Yeah, but you're literally blackmailing me to be here. I'm actually not free to leave when I want.
Mrs. Haygood, what's for breakfast?
I'm looking forward to making you throw it away. Well, after that frustrating day, Belle decides to call up her friend from work and vent.
Hello?
I can't stand Eric Landry.
Is that where you've been lately? Because Craig thinks you're avoiding him.
No, that'd be mean.
And I wouldn't be mean to Craig, even though he's kind of creepy and weird.
So is his house, like, amazing?
Anna.
Does he, like, live up to the name Beast?
Anna.
Would your dad's boss even fire him?
It's hard to say with him being so new to the job.
Then why are you going through all of this?
He's purposely making this harder than it has to be.
But what does it have to be? This isn't some sort of job placement program. You just showed up at his house and said, I'll do things for you. And he said, no. Okay, fine. Then we get some juicy gossip.
You know he's drunk, right?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I haven't seen him drink anything.
And he also likes caffeine.
I heard he got drunk at work and started a fire.
I heard he got drunk and...
Talk to you later.
Sure, Belle. Your life is pretty bad. Look on the bright side. At least you don't have to watch this movie. Well, after working for Eric for a few days, Belle decides maybe she should do a little research on who this fella really is.
I thought you'd be at the mansion.
You say it like it's glamorous or something.
No, she didn't.
So what are you doing?
Stalking him on the internet.
What if he has a double life? Like Batman.
Not likely.
Well, how do you know? Have you ever followed him?
Yeah, the only way you can know if someone isn't Batman is if you follow them.
But you could be a sidekick. Batgirl.
Book of Mormon girl.
Bible girl married the bad guy.
What if he does end up having a secret identity? You have to show me the Batcave.
Well, the next day, she goes to his house and they have an enchanted Christmas. AKA, she starts reading some of his work notes, which apparently he's some sort of consultant for businesses. And wouldn't you know it, he does not like this at all.
What are you doing with that?
You have a typo on page 4.
What gives you the right to...
Mr. Landry, call him Eric, dear.
Prince Eric, dear.
You know, despite what you may believe, I can think for myself. And if you really want a decent assistant, let me do something besides running errands for you.
Do you think you know anything about what I do?
I'm beginning to.
You don't want to be with a guy like me. I have a cave downstairs and it's not for Batman. I'll tell you that much.
Might as well let me do something more useful. You only have so many shirts I can take to the cleaners.
I can buy more.
What do you have to lose? I'll still do all the menial stuff. Just give me a chance to show you what I can do.
Now I hate both of them.
Read all these.
And weep.
When you start to understand what you're really dealing with, then we'll talk.
Never have I seen a movie that is so similar to 50 Shades of Grey that I knew almost for a fact was not going to end up being like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yep, this is the staff kitchen.
Then, just like Belle, we too begin to learn a little bit more about who Prince Eric really is.
About 10 years ago, Eric was married. He'd started a business with a couple of his friends. It was a big success. He went to church, then his wife died.
Wow, his wife died from going to church? Well, that would put me off from it too.
It was an accident, but Eric took it very hard. He blamed God for it. Stopped going to church, then he started drinking.
Oh yeah, that's what happens.
Alcohol affected Eric so much his business partners, so-called company.
Well then, how does he have so much money?
He was all right financially, as you can see.
Oh, you got me there, movie.
Got so bad, he finally one of those rehab clinics. He hasn't had a drink in 5 years.
Isn't that good then? Doesn't that discount a lot of what you just said?
Why is he so...
mean?
No, sexy.
He still blames God.
Wow, now I learned all that about Eric just now.
Thanks for...
The expedition dump. Expedition? Well, after learning everything she could possibly know about Eric's backstory, she goes home and lays on her bed like a child. That's when she gets a call from...
Craig? Hi, Craig. What's up?
You want to go out to dinner?
I already ate.
What are you doing?
Reading.
You're going to blow us off for a book.
Bye.
Bye! I'm gonna murder that girl one day. All right, well, let's cut back to Belle working for Mr. Landry, and he wants to know how she felt about the reports that she read.
Did you finish reading the reports?
Exciting!
Yes?
Tell me what you learned.
More character development.
I mean, I figured you'd have to be on...
Now that we've established I'm smart, did you learn anything?
Was this movie written by one of those pickup artists that tell you have to be mean to girls to get them to sleep with you?
I'll get food by acting like I don't want food.
That's stupid.
Companies obviously come to you for recommendations on how to be more efficient and profitable.
Oh, now we know what he does. Well, her basic analysis of his analysis of these companies is that he's too mean to them when he's giving them critiques, a thing that they've paid him to do.
Just seems like you're a little harsh on them. You're supposed to be helping them.
I am helping them. I tell them what they're doing wrong.
And maybe she's right, because his response to her honest criticism of his honest criticism is to get ticked off, because he's a beast.
My clients don't pay me for fluffy compliments.
Wouldn't it help to be a little more...
That's enough! Shut the door behind you!
Eric, I'm just...
I don't care! You don't know what you're talking about!
Free help is so hard to find these days. What's going on up there? I'm a beast. I'm a big beast. What a beast. Maybe one day I'll be able to add some weights. I should probably take a shower. I don't know the words. Well, realizing that talking about his work is a sensitive subject, the next day Belle decides to breach a less volatile topic. His alcoholism.
Can I ask why you keep it?
Have you ever had a drop of alcohol in your life?
I had some mouthwash one time.
It's a reminder to never go there again.
But also if I need to, it's right there. But this conversation gets interrupted by two separate phone calls. One from Kyle.
Kyle, Yes.
And the other from one of the worst voice actors in the world.
I got the profile, but
You're supposed to send me a packet yesterday, and it's not here.
How quickly do you want
Where
my
is it?
proposal?
We need that right away.
What color is the folder? Is it the blue one or the red one?
I told Eric this 3 days ago, and he still hasn't come courtesy enough.
Because I don't have the acting skills.
We're preparing a presentation.
I get it out in time yesterday.
What?
I'm very sorry.
The hit for Mr. Landry. That's a woman for ya.
Mr. Yielding, please.
As Mrs. Potts is scraping this gross-sounding goo into a blender,
Is Eric here?
He's walking outside.
Belle has to go and talk to Mr. Landry.
So why is it called the Great Room?
Because it's big.
Everything here is big.
So thanks to her solving that little problem over the phone, he decides to give her another chance in reading his reports.
I'd like for you to read this analysis. Make it more diplomatic.
And eating his pens. But wouldn't you know it, I guess she didn't finish it fast enough.
It's not the State of the Union. Come on.
No, it's not done.
Let me see what you have.
I'd really rather explain my notes. I just wrote whatever I was thinking.
This is complete gibberish.
Respect the CEO. He brought you in.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. This is amazing.
Too harsh, too critical, too mean?
Eric,
Why would they listen to criticism with no hope?
I was going to type those up and explain what they meant.
Okay, there's no need. They're quite clear. Can't wait to hear how else you think I failed at what I do.
Eric, you asked me to help you with this.
I know what I asked you to do. Now I'm telling you to stop. You think you understand this business simply because you can read.
You think you're so smart because you know how to read. Big Belle.
You're gonna blow us off for a book.
But I guess Eric Landry's heart grew 3 sizes that day because he comes down to help her pick up the report she wrote up with her mouth pen. Oh, you think you could count now, too?
I'm sorry.
Do you have something you wanted me to do?
Yes, actually, I did have a list of things I thought you could help me with.
Learn to read, learn to color.
You know, I'd rather pick up your dry cleaning than have you yell at my work.
Look, I'm trying to be nice.
That's ironic how someone so critical can't take criticism.
Isn't it ironic?
Come on.
Come on, babe. Babe, come on. Put your face into my hand. Come on. But in a move that nobody should cheer for, he apologizes and she accepts it.
I'm sorry about before.
Gross.
I do appreciate your work.
Bye. Meanwhile, or later, or something. You know that couple that we loved so much and they've clearly gotten along very well? Now we get a Stockholm Syndrome setting in montage, equipped with an awful song and everything.
Feel a change from within myself that makes me smile.
Oh, he smiled.
There's something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined.
Would you prefer to wipe his face with a gigantic towel? Yeah, fade that song out before it ends. Yeah. And as we've learned from crappy Christian movies in the past, nothing shows 2 people falling in love better than them playing pool. I bet you a kiss I won't make this shot. But that's when Craig shows up.
Try to catch you at home all week, but you're always here or studying. Oh, the man himself.
No one fights like Gaston. No one fights.
When I stopped by the other day, your dad said he hardly sees you anymore.
Why are you getting into my life? I barely know you and you're visiting my family.
I'm not. Are you dating this guy?
Because I've already paid a dowry to your father.
There's no way that any of us can compete with Mr. Riches.
Now you're being mean.
You know that's an offensive term. Also, who's us?
There's no way that any of us can compete with Mr. Riches.
Yeah, everyone in the Mormon youth group should get a go at ringing the bell.
Eric's actually a nice guy.
Eric?
We had a whole freaking montage together.
What do you expect me to call him Mr. Landry all the time?
It'd make me feel better.
Oh, and making you feel good is what I want.
Your boss is rich and questionable.
Questionable?
Questionable? How dare you say that word?
I don't like the idea of you working for this beast.
Don't call him that.
There's something there that wasn't there before, okay? And it's Jesus. Then we crossfade over to another conversation between Belle and Eric.
You got a message from Kyle Kincaid. He wants to know if Thursday still works for you.
No, nobody named Thursday has ever actually worked for me, so.
Are you free that night?
Me?
No, the grandfather clock behind you. Yes, you. And of course, the girls are all giggly about this business meeting.
Business meeting that you're gonna get all dolled up for. Do you even have a dress?
Of course.
You even have clothes, Pori. You can't go out with Mr. Riches. Don't call him that.
Is he picking you up at your house? Yeah.
Did he give a weird look at you when he asked you out?
Yeah. Well, then he thinks it's a date.
No, it's logistics.
You're gonna date an abuser? Isn't that exciting? Well, now it's time for the big date. I mean business meeting. Wow, she dressed up as a balloon?
Nice to see that suit somewhere other than the dry cleaners.
Not covered in alcohol and blood.
It's nice Derek brought somebody by.
What do you mean?
Well, he usually comes to these things alone.
Really?
Last time he came to see my show on TBN, he was all by himself.
And you factored in the cost of pensions and severance?
Well, layoffs are a part of business.
Yes, but a new model is going to take a lot of...
I hate these love stories that try to explain how businesses work and then make people who run businesses out to be bad guys. You show how much you don't know about running a business.
I mean, think of all the time and money that's wasted on employees.
You know, you should just not pay your employees. They'll all stick around. They may even start dating you. Well, after their business meeting, they get some alone time. And this is where we get to learn the nitty-gritty about Mr. Landry's past. Again.
My wife and I were out one night driving. The left front tire hit the road wrong and blew out. After that, we went off the road.
And that's when I became an atheist and started teaching at that school before a young man named Josh Whedon came and challenged me, and then I died.
I was still stupid enough to believe that she might actually be okay. She might even live.
So does this lie about your dead wife work on a lot of girls, or?
It happened such a long time ago. You still feel this way?
The love of your life died forever ago. Get over it already, dude.
I guess that implies that God wants us to be happy.
You don't think he does?
I don't think so. Like, I don't think that's written anywhere. That, like, happiness is what God wants for everybody. Joy and satisfaction in life, even when things go wrong, is possible. But suffering and sadness is also part of life. Sunny days and rainy days, they're all part of it. Well, I can't believe we did that.
Why did you do it alone?
In the snow, no less. Talked about your feelings, I mean. The message of this movie is, hey girls, if some guy's a total jerk to you, just keep dating them and you'll lead them to the Lord.
To my toes as it kicks.
Another song?
Drifting past this gray and rise.
Maybe I should use the other Bible that I had on my shelf. No, I'll take a look at this wet one.
This kaleidoscope.
Time to twist this kaleidoscope. We are a skin kaleidoscope. Meanwhile.
How's it coming?
I'm okay.
Here.
Is that really the time?
No, it's not. This is a special kind of watch that doesn't say the time.
Oh, shoot, I'm gonna be late.
What?
So apparently she has her exam and her little sister needs to be picked up from school. So he volunteers to go pick up her little sister.
You're here to take her home?
Do I need to sign for her or something?
Then we get this crazy misunderstanding.
I know you may want to defend your daughter. It's only natural.
But I'm not Mr.
Please don't interrupt. We're concerned that Kelly would cheat.
It's super frustrating and it has nothing to do with the movie. So let's get back to the real story.
May I ask you something?
Sure.
Would you sign a contract for me? Meanwhile, at this restaurant that's actually a dining room, Belle is having a little lunch date with Craig.
I just want to maximize my time with you before Mr. Riches gets back.
Don't call him that!
Craig.
I just want you to get everything you deserve. And more.
No, I'm just trying to say I can't hear you over that awful ringtone that's playing. It's weird how this creeps her out, but like being scolded and told that she's a piece of crap and stuff doesn't. Later, Craig finds out some useful information that maybe he can use against Belle to get Belle. Because that's how you do it.
Belle's dad is working at Landry's mansion, and he broke something, and so he said he would have him fired if he didn't pay for it. So now Belle's working for Landry until it's all good.
That sounds so convoluted. Meanwhile, Mrs. Potts is letting the Beast know that maybe Belle might be the one to break the spell.
She's a good one.
Of all the maids that you've had affairs and blackmailed into going on dates with you, she's one of the good ones.
When are you gonna let her off the hook? You could give her the choice to stay, if you want her to.
And then you won't be a beast anymore.
I'm not sure she'd take it.
Might be surprised, Eric.
Women will do crazy things for men. Well, meanwhile, Gaston decides he's really gonna make Belle his wife.
Craig!
I was wondering if you want to go out tonight.
No, dude, no. She just needs to like be really straight up honest with this guy. The way that she was telling the Beast not to act towards his clients is the way that she should be acting towards this guy. Oh, you gotta have a little bit of compassion and you gotta have some love. When you got a guy like this who just won't freaking take a hint, you gotta just be straight up and be like, look, dude, I'm not interested in you. Move on with your life, or else I'm gonna call the cops. A little relationship advice from Kevin. You're welcome.
Not interested in you like that. I mean, I'd like to keep our friendship.
Belle, come on.
That's when Belle finally lets him down easy, which she shouldn't do, puts him in the friend zone.
I'm willing to wait. I know this is right.
It's not about my schedule.
It's your turtleneck.
When you change your mind, I'll be here.
Dude!
No, Craig, I'm not gonna...
Ah! I think they're both bad guys. I know. Hot take. So that's when Craig uses information he gathered from his cousin to make a phone call.
Hi, this is Eric Landry.
And lies to get Belle's dad fired.
You're fired.
They fired me.
Why?
They got a call from Eric Landry.
I will respond with emotion and not verify this at all. Doop, doop, doop. Life's going great. Girlfriend's dad has a job.
Belle?
Happy. Ah!
How could you? After all this time, I thought you were different.
I thought there was something there that wasn't there before. I hate these kinds of misunderstandings in movies.
Belle!
Don't!
Hold on. Explain what you're talking about first, and maybe we can work it out. I feel like I haven't done anything that would lead to this. Can we just talk it out?
I fell for it once, but I won't anymore.
All right. I'm just saying, in real life, this doesn't happen.
Belle, wait!
Do you think the guitar in the corner is the same guitar being played in this song? All right, so we have a being sad montage while nobody, I guess, talks to each other and explains that nothing that's happening actually is what they think it was.
Before I got wound up in you.
I don't like how close this guy is to the microphone.
Before I got wound up in you.
Mr. Landry.
Is Belle here?
Bill? I don't know anybody named Bill.
Maybe you think you can get away with anything, but you won't hurt my family anymore. Now go away, I'm busy looking for a job.
What? Hello, job?
Yes, this is Eric Landry.
Yes, this is Eric Landry. You called?
Fired?
But why?
No, that wasn't me that called.
But you got me in the counter? Or was it me?
There must be some misunderstanding.
Well, here's the deal, Mr. Landry. We already got a phone call from somebody saying they were you, and now you're calling saying that you're you, and there's no way for us to verify this, so maybe you should come in and talk to us directly, and then we can work this whole thing out. So thank the Lord, this awkward phone call fixed everything. They're poor, but they have that expensive checker set.
Guess what?
Dad got his job back.
Really?
You could buy more sweaters now. The classic conflict that can be fixed with a Post-it note actually got fixed with a Post-it note.
Do you want some dessert?
Do you guys think that had we not seen Beauty and the Beast already, this would be as bad? Maybe we just are holding it up to too high of a standard.
You know, I am almost glad that I was fired for a while.
Dad, I was happy to come back.
No, I know. But you've more than earned the right to a little happiness.
You've earned it. You've also earned your salvation.
Please stop calling.
Belle, wait. Let me explain.
You never should have held my dad's job over his head in the first place.
Just say the thing you want to say. Don't be scared, Jane. Ah. Ugh. Jade is more of a ferret than she is a cat. This is so frustrating to like sit here and have all these scenes happen when we know inevitably she's gonna find out that it was Craig who really did it. And then they're gonna get back together in an airport or on a bridge, but probably at their house. And she's gonna be like, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, it seems Mr. Landry is having a difficult time getting along without Belle. How will I ever learn to hold these 4 different colored notebooks without Belle in my life? I'm gonna have to go back to Manila. Manila!
There is truth in the red letters.
But just as you thought he was gonna turn to the Holy Spirit, he turns to different spirits altogether. Dun dun dun! No! He cracks open his serum and becomes the Beast. Dude, that would be the best. Guzzles it, slams it down, and is like, "Roar!" literally becomes a beast and starts crushing every manila envelope in sight. Well, just as I predicted, she has dinner with her coworker and her cousin Craig, where she ultimately finds out it was Craig who did this all along.
Hi, Craig. Craig, how did you know my dad got fired?
Anna told me.
No, I didn't.
What's going on here?
I'm such an idiot. I can't believe this. How could you do something like that?
The guy's awful. You should Belle!
I wish there was a mud puddle right there that he could have fallen into.
Where's Eric?
I haven't seen him yet this morning.
Didn't.
He went back inside his genie bottle? He's probably wherever this picture was taken. Well, that's when she goes to the place that he was in that picture.
Eric?
Belle.
I didn't see you there.
What are you doing here?
Thinking.
And pooping. What? You're a litter bug? No, thank you. That's when this guy who's apologized several times throughout the movie for being a jerk, once again apologizes for being a jerk.
Belle, I'm sorry about your dad. I should never have threatened him or put you through any of this.
Well, maybe he really means it this time.
But it wasn't all bad.
Really?
I mean, you were kind of a jerk, but then you ended up being kind of nice for some reason, because we had that montage.
Even after all the terrible things I did to you.
Even after making you be in this awful movie.
Belle, I'm only caring about myself for a very long time.
And I'm gonna continue to, but I also want you to care about myself too.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I want to be with you.
I want to make Belle my wife.
Don't have to try too hard.
That's when the Stockholm Syndrome truly sets in.
You make me happy.
And we end with voiceover.
With Eric's transformation and his renewed faith, the people in the land discovered that the beast was gone.
Don't try to make this into a fairy tale still, woman.
And while their world wasn't perfect, they still lived happily ever after.
Until they died and got their own planets. That's the part that they cut out for the Christian version. Well, there you have it. What a great movie. That was Belle and the Beast. And what did I think of it? I thought it was terrible. It was a terrible message. The acting was lame. The only thing that I guess might have been kind of good about it was that the lead actor, the main guy, looked kind of like Jim Caviezel, so he looked kind of like a real actor a little bit. It wasn't even really the story of Beauty and the Beast. It was more the story of Rigoletto, but instead of being taught how to sing, she was taught how to do taxes or whatever, while also leaving out the most iconic part of any of those stories, the part where the whole village attempts to murder the guy.
I say we go up to that castle in the skies and see what the monster's been doing to us all. Help me! Somebody help me!
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I can't qualify every single review by saying this isn't the worst movie I've ever seen, because I've seen a lot of bad movies. This movie was pretty bad. This is a cheap ripoff of a ripoff of a ripoff, trying to capitalize on the popularity of a Disney movie. It's just stupid. I can't even tell what part of this is bad writing and what part of this is bad acting and what part of it is bad beliefs. I like the concept of having the Gaston character be actually kind of a good guy, like a nice-ish guy at first, and then he ends up becoming obsessive, and then things go wrong. I think it might be the acting above anything. There was no chemistry between the two of them, and so there was no reason to really cheer for them. I think that's where the true problem with the movie lies. But I had a lot of fun watching it. Isn't that what's important? I think God wanted me to have fun watching this movie today, and so I did. I hope you guys had fun too. That's all I've got to say about the movie. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Good night. Look, it's Barkley Boy. He's back here. Christmas dog is here. Christmas dog. Christmas dog. Ting. Good boy. Good boy. Okay.